All right, so I'm not gonna lie, Fuji's kind of been turning up lately. They've gone from like a, I don't want to say like a unknown brand, or like, they've gone from like the underdog brand to being one of the more popular ones as of late. The X100V was really popular on social media. It's sold out. Well, it has been sold out for a while now. You can't even really get it on back order. The only ones that you can really get are if you are getting them used, or pretty much, yeah, used or secondhand. And even those, like, people are pricing those so high to the point where it's like you don't even want to get it. Like, why am I gonna go get a used camera and pay the retail price for it? So Fuji's been on a wave lately. Recently, a couple days ago, they announced the release of the X100V6, which is supposed to be coming out on February 28th. So it's an upgrade from the X100V. There's a bunch of new features on it that would, for some people, like, depending if you're coming from the X105, I'm just gonna call it 5, forget the V, X105, and you're upgrading to the 6, it would actually make sense for you to upgrade it, because I think the new features, like, I'm probably gonna go get one myself, even though I'm shooting on my XH2. I do want a second camera, but I shoot on the XH2 now. But it seems like the X100V6 is going to be a worthy upgrade. Instead of me getting the XT5, I'll have like a smaller camera that has pretty much all the same features, and it's like something I can carry on the go. Like, I don't like sometimes like carrying my XH2 with me. Like, I got to carry lenses, I got to carry a bunch of other stuff. So having a point and shoot that I could just walk out the house with it and not have to carry anything else, that might be very enticing to certain people. And you could actually use it as like a main camera if you really wanted to, or a secondary camera for content, like stuff like I'm doing now. Like, I have this one angle, I could have a second camera shooting a different angle, and it would give me similar quality. So that's a good reason for people to go and look to see if they can get their hands on one. So I'll just look at some of the features real quick. So 40 megapixel sensor now, so same thing that the XT5 and the XH2 has. Unlimited recording. I've heard it has an ND filter, an internal ND filter. I've heard that's on other cameras. I've never actually used a camera that has an internal ND filter, so that's going to be interesting to see, because I'm using one on my camera right now, and obviously it's an external one. So to have one on the camera, that would actually be, if it works well, that would actually be very convenient for certain users, especially for me, since I usually just keep mine on my camera. So it's going to be getting some of the new features. So all the Fuji recipes that the XH2, the XT5, and the XH2S has, it's going to be getting those as well. Obviously some new tracking features with the new sensor. So you're going to be able to get, I'm guessing the X105 didn't have eye tracking focus, or maybe it did, but it didn't work as well, because what I'm reading here, it says, I'm on a comparison website, and it's saying that it doesn't, but I'm assuming it did have it, but maybe just not this, I guess, generation of this version of it. Animal eye tracking, it has that as well, so same thing that the XH2 has. Other than that, not much is changing from the X105. But I think the things that they are changing, like the new sensor, you're getting a larger viewfinder, a little bit better battery. From what it's saying if you're taking photos, you go from 450 shots to 420 shots. A higher resolution for the video, that's going to be something a lot of people look forward to. You're going from 4K to 6K. And I think it has 4K 60 now. I don't think the X100V5 had 4K 60. It might have been 4K 30 maximum. But now you're getting 6K, and you're gonna get F-Log 2 and all the features that I guess the more expensive Fuji cameras have. Not the more expensive, but like the higher Fuji cameras have. A higher bit rate. You're going from 720 megabits per second to, they're going from 200 megabits per second to 720. Well, I didn't know this. So the old X100V had a ND filter as well. So I wonder how come they didn't put it on the other Fujis, like the XT5, the XH2, and the XH2S. But yeah, it says that they both had the ND filter, so not much really changing. So if you have an X100V5, maybe it doesn't make sense for you to go get one unless you really need a secondary camera, or you really just want to upgrade. But if you're like me and you're looking for a secondary camera and you don't want to get like an XT5, then I think the X100V would be a viable option for you. Like I said, it has all the features that the main cameras have, like the X-T5, the 40 megapixel and the 6K and all that stuff. And it has the convenience factor to where you can just carry it around. You don't have to bring other lenses with you or bring other accessories with you. You could just take the camera and go put it in your bag, put it in your pocket or whatever, and then just go with it. So for me, I think it definitely makes sense to, depending on what you shoot and what kind of stuff you do, like it may not make sense for you to go and spend the 2,000, well, $2,400 Canadian after tax, and maybe 2,000 USD after tax for you to get it, because you might not need the new features that it has. You might just be content with what you get from the 5. So, and from what I'm seeing, like those 5s have retained their value pretty well, so you might not need to even rush and sell it, because maybe, I don't know, a month or two you might still be able to sell it for the same price and still get the upgrade. So yeah, no, I think this is a camera to look out for sure. Hopefully they produce enough of them to where people are not rushing and, you know, trying to do whatever they can to get their hands on one. But the pandemic's not really an issue anymore, so I think production will probably be able to produce enough cameras so that, and you know, everyone can get their hands on one and everyone can enjoy the new features of the X100V6.